Does chivalry still exist out here today? Out here in the world, out here in the streets. Does chivalry still exist? Have you seen it? And when you see it, what does it mean? I'm curious about stuff like that. I pay attention to different things. I read body language. If you've heard me say in some of my other videos, I consider myself a Sigma male, whatever the fuck that means. But there's certain things that people do that I pick up on, I think just a little bit quicker than other people. Sometimes I'm wrong. A lot of times I'm right. I may not know exactly what I saw, but I saw something. Now ride with me for a second. Earlier today, I saw two examples of chivalry. And in my mind, they mean two different things. So chivalry does still exist out here. As far as I'm a young Gen Xer, middle-aged guy, your boy diversified. So I'm getting up there a little bit. But in my time, and the way that I was raised, the way I came up, men were expected to be chivalrous. You were expected to show a certain amount of respect and a certain amount of protection of women. And that was just understood. And I still relatively believe that. But sometimes I'll ask myself, where did this come from? And in today's society, how does it still exist? Where do you see it? And what does it mean? So let me give you these two examples that I saw. Just saw them earlier today. Really back to back. So there was two different sets of couples. We'll say couple A and couple B. Both heterosexual, man and woman. They're going into this ice cream shop. The first couple, couple A, the woman is walking in front. The man is maybe 3 or 4 steps behind her. She gets to the door. She stops. She steps over to the side, and she lets him then pass her, open the door for her, and then she went in. I was like, okay, that's interesting. She had no problem walking ahead. They were not walking side by side. She was, like I said, a couple of steps ahead. Nothing ridiculous. You could tell, there was some beef or some distance between them. But she's leading, and she got to the door and was like, go ahead, you open the door for me. Now, for some people, depending upon their age, like I say, I'm a young Gen Xer. For some people in their age, what generation they're in, yes, you always open doors for women. Car doors, front doors, microwave doors, whatever doors you can open for women, you open it for them. And that was the standard for a lot of people in a certain generation. Do you see that as much nowadays? Do you see men open the door for women? Do you see women expect men to open the door for them? Because this is what happened with the second couple. Right behind that couple, maybe about a minute, literally about a minute or two later, couple number 2 steps up. Man and woman. The woman is leading again. She's walking ahead of that. Now, I'm not going to dig into that. That's not too small of an example to extrapolate something from that. But both ladies were leading. Couple number 2, the lady was leading. About the same distance. The dude was a little bit behind. She gets to the door. She opens it up. She steps inside. And then with her hand, on her back, she holds the door open for the dude. She's fully inside. She's facing inside, but she keeps the door open, propped open with her hand, with her butt. And then the dude comes in. So that was chivalry on the other side. And so it just got me in those two brief little examples, which probably don't mean shit. And I just need to go ahead and smoke another one. But I felt like I saw two different things. In the body language that I saw two different things. In the first example, the lady walked up, and I'm telling you from her body language, in the brief little moments that I saw, she seemed confident. She seemed elevated. Take whatever you want to take from that. She seemed yeah, I'm not just anybody. And when she approached that door and she stepped aside, and my man kind of rushed up and opened the door for her and held it open for her, I was like, oh, I wonder what the dynamics of that relationship is. Because he wasn't leading and then waiting for her and then open the door for her. And then she walked in. She was leading and stopped And then he caught up and opened the door and she went in. Like, you served your purpose. That's how I peeped it. That's how I peeped it. Tell me what you think. The second example, she was leading. Both examples, the ladies were on a certain level in terms of their body language. Like, he'll catch up. We're together, whatever, but I don't have to wait for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't. Anyway, so the second couple, the lady is in front. She gets to the door. She has no hesitation opening the door for herself. No hesitation going inside. This man did not have to, like, be security, be Secret Service, and walk in front of her and, like, you know, represent her in that way. He had her back. She was going in first. I got to the door first. I'm going in first. But she, in a way that was not, like, submitting or anything, in a way that was kind of like, hey, I'm giving you a chance to get in the door. She propped the door open for dude. And then dude went in and blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, I saw a difference in the simple act of a door being held open for someone. Something chivalrous, right? That's what I'm saying. Chivalry does exist out here. But I feel like, and like I said, I'm a young Gen Xer, I feel like when I see different times when men open the car door for a woman, or they, pull out her seat for her, or tuck in her seat for her when she's ready to sit down. These different things where clearly men are showing some type of subservience, some type of respect, whatever you want to call it. They're showing some type of special attention to this woman. I feel like it's rare. You don't see it as very often. I know there's different times when I hold the door open for women in a way that's like, you know, I could have just went about my business, but I saw that you were coming, or I saw you were carrying something, and they will act like, oh, well, gentlemen still exist out here. And I'm kind of like, it's not gentlemen. That should just be men. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was raised. But here's what I'm trying to get at, though. There's chivalry where, as far as I understood it, men are raised to, like I say, show a certain amount of respect and a certain amount of protection of women. Girls, women, you know, the whole range. But then there's a certain aspect of chivalry to me that I also identify sometimes. They're not the same thing, but sometimes they get crossed over, where it looks like possession. It looks something like, if this man is going to claim this woman, then this is what you do to show respect in your ownership of her, if you want to call it that. You know, give me another word. Or he prizes her, again, possession, like he prizes her so highly that he does these things that he wouldn't necessarily per se do with the average woman. So there's chivalry that I see that to me seems authentic, benign, even communal. That's like, yeah, you show some love, show some respect to sister right there. Show some love, show some respect to baby girl walking down the street. Show some love, show some respect to auntie or grandma. Like, you show some love and respect and protection towards women. And men who don't do that, there's a problem there. But there's also a certain aspect of what some people call chivalry. Let me smoke on this real quick. Because sometimes I be having to peep this out. Like, am I seeing things wrong, or am I seeing a certain amount of possession here? In this example of chivalry, in these different times that I've seen something chivalrous, this looked more like possession, like ownership, or even worse, segmentation. The man is here, the woman is here. And so in that sense, the gift doesn't carry the person in the house. The person carries the gift in the house. You feel what I'm saying? So I have a problem with that. I think, again, like I say, women should be respected and loved and protected and glass ceilings shattered. But if we go a little bit too far with that, to me, that just comes back down to possession. It just brings back in the patriarchy, where that man gets to claim you. He gets to possess you because these are the things that I do for someone who's mine. You see what I'm saying? Not this is what I do for women, or this is what I do for the community, or this is what I do because this is what's authentic to me. This is what I do when you are mine. And that's different. So when I saw that woman walk up to the door and stop and step to the side, I was like, is that her way of saying like I'm giving you an opportunity to walk in first because I don't know what's inside here. Okay, that's understandable. But on a certain way, it felt like, come serve your purpose and open this door for me and provide my protection. And that's different because if we're talking about purposes, now we're getting into, roles and expectations. And in today's society, we know this. I've talked about this in other videos. Women are shattering, modern women, younger women are shattering the expectations and the ceilings that their Gen X mamas and aunties and grandmas and boomer like they're shattering those ceilings. So the expectations of what was before is different now in many ways. I'll give you another example. Another quick example. This happened maybe a couple months ago. Hanging out with a friend of mine, and we're at a bar, and it's a lady, and so we're chilling. She was like, "Oh yeah, this place they got a nice little happy hour. Like, let's go check it out." I'm like, "All right, I got some time. Like, all right, fuck it, let's go." So we go to this bar, happy hour. Like, okay, yeah, they got some nice little deals here. Okay, and she's telling me like, "Yeah, you should order this. I tried this before, and this and that, blah blah blah." I'm like, okay, yeah. So we order some stuff, order some food, order some drinks. The lady that's behind the bar that's taking our orders and stuff. At some point in time, when the bill comes around or when it's time for discussion of the bill, she's like, "I know I'm going to hand it to this guy right here." And we just kind of laughed and chuckled. Like, oh, yeah. Then when the bill actually came, she was like, she doubled down on it. Like, yeah, so I'm going ahead and hand this to you because, I know how it is. I'd never been there before. She's never met me. She don't know our relationship. We are just friends. I'm not hollering at her. I'm not fucking her. She don't know none of that. But in her mind, in her world, in her assumption, you pay for the bill. You didn't even ask if we was going to split the bill. Like, it was completely... Some people would be like, well, it's chivalrous. Like, the man should pay. Yeah, if I'm kicking it with her, like, if we're dating, sure, no problem. Okay, yeah, if I got the resources, sure, no problem. Now, I didn't even mention that a lot of times nowadays, many women got more resources. Doesn't matter. We'll discuss that in another episode. Okay, sure. If I'm dating her, I got the money, I pay, no problem, because I'm going to take it out that ass later. Smoking that one. But also, if we're just kicking it and hanging out, I could pay for it, sure. But it was the assumption. You don't know me. Maybe you've met her before. You don't know me. You don't know our situation at all. And you don't know how that might look. Me paying for her. That might... Some people, hey, you spent more than $11 on this. I'm getting the ass out of this. My boy back in the day used to say it was $6, but I'll assume inflation has lifted that. You spent almost $20. Yeah, I'm spending the night tonight. So I'm like, it just threw me off that it was like, okay, in what you are assuming would be a chivalrous action, just that's what men should do. Okay, fine. But in you assuming that, you also have changed the dynamic of a relationship that you don't know nothing about. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't have a problem with paying the bill. I did have a problem that she assumed a man and a woman together, like enjoying themselves, purchasing things, that man's going to pay for everything. You don't know my relationship with this person. So I paid for it. I didn't even like bring it up. But like I said, it was something I was like, okay, is that chivalrous? Or is that some bullshit? Like I said, it's not the concept of the man paying for, two people or, a group of people going out. It's not that but What does it mean? Why would he be paying? Would he be paying because that's his possession? That's his woman? That's who he's hollering at? That's his wife? They're in a relationship? Or is he paying simply because he's the man? Now, if we're getting to that level, if that's what we consider chivalrous, then the way that I see it, tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, now we're going down a slippery slope where, oh, if these are the expectations of me as a man, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm thinking, then let me tell you my expectations of you as a woman. Now, I'm one of the type of people that's like, and like I said, I'm a young Gen Xer, so I'm old, but I'm older, not old. I'm older, but I'm still youngish. So when I hear of men that are like, oh, a woman's got to cook, she got to know how to cook, she got to know how to clean, I'd be like, you fucking Neanderthal. No, she don't. She do what she do. She has her value in other ways. Like, what you mean she got to know how? You don't know how to cook? You don't know how to clean for yourself? But if I'm expected to pay because we're in the presence of each other and I'm the man, so let me know, have you seen chivalry out here? Does it still exist? Do you practice it? And what does it mean when you see it? Because chivalry, it's not all the same. So tell me, have you seen these variations? If it means anything, like I said, maybe I need to stop smoking one. But tell me what you think. This your boy Diversified, that middle-aged guy. You know I get at you.